Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're doing a dual commentary for Dracoslayer Pendulum. You might have seen my deck profile and you might have seen the follow-up video, which was the combo one, to go more in depth about what the deck actually does, how it deals with Sprite, Runick, Tearlaments, and other kind of matchups, but also an updated deck profile that I've since changed after uploading the original deck profile. So I hope you guys can enjoy it and look forward to it. Before we get started, yes, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers for the end of the year. It's a very ambitious goal, but I'm going to see if we can get there. So that would be amazing if you guys can subscribe and like and comment. And with that being said, let's get straight into it. Okay, guys, so first up, we're doing a replay versus Tearlaments. So you can see me on one side here, just comboing off at the moment. You know, drawing the Magic Spectre is amazing because we get to see our Majesty Pegasus, which is one of the best cards in the deck. So, you know, keep an eye for that one as well. And then, yeah, we just get the combo going. With the Dracoslayer, the Majesty, we search the Ignis, destroy Majesty, Dracoslayer, Lustrous pops Ignis, Ignis brings out the Tuna, beyond the Pendulum, and there we go. That's the synergy, that's the combo. I did misclick and I hit the Luster Pendulum, is it Luster Pendulum? Master Pendulum effect, which was a huge misplay, but it still worked out in the end because, again, this deck loops effects so many times and it makes it really, really easy to actually just get stuff done. So also, while we're comboing off, you can see the opponent's hand. He actually drew 2 Tearlaments, so I wouldn't put it past him to try and do something, but he drew 3 Branded High Spirits, which is, you know, a very popular engine right now in Tearlaments. I believe this was a game 3 if I'm not wrong as well, so that makes it even more interesting. And this is the combo, by the way. This is the new combo that I do with Pendulum Dracoslayer. The Scythe Combo is so simple. And if you guys want me to do a in real life combo video for this, let me know in the comments down below as well. But here we go. This is kind of the end board you can see. I did mess up a little bit, like I mentioned before. I should have had a number 38 on the board. But this is still really sick. So it does Chainlink 3 on the Bystial, which doesn't actually matter because we're going to do the Entis now. We're going to pop the Scythe. And the opponent just scoops because obviously they can't do anything because Scythe resolves. And, you know, Scythe is one of those crazy cards, isn't it? Next up, we're going to do another replay. So this is another one against Tearlaments. So I believe this was the game 3. So I go first. And yeah, we're just going to combo off here. I hard drew the Guiding Ariadne, but it's fine because I believe I don't even go into it at all, which is really cool because I drew a lot of stars. If you see Harmonizing Magician, it's one of the craziest power spikes that this deck has after resolving Majesty Pegasus. So you can see here, we're going to search a card, complete the scale, and Pendulum summon like crazy, just like when Pendulum was released. This is so broken, by the way. Every time I do this to someone, like, their face is just jaw drop, speechless. This card, remember on summon, searches a Pendulum once in the end phase? Sometimes I forget that. So I want to pause here. So this is really cool, okay? Did I click pause? Yeah, I click pause. I summoned Celine, and before I summoned Celine, I realized I don't have enough spells in the graveyard. I only have 2. So I set my Necrovalley thinking, is it still going to work because it's a spell card, even though it's face down? Turns out it does, so that's just a really small thing. Of course, this is a very niche scenario, and this only happens when you don't search the Sky Iris, because of course you're going to flip Sky Iris. Whereas with Necrovalley, it shuts down the synergy that some of the deck has, like the Celine, so we don't want to flip it up. But after setting it, it managed to resolve. It's a bit of an interesting one. I thought I'd just share that. But that meant I could do full combo. And this duel is literally fresh because I just finished this duel before I started recording, which is pretty funny. But the opponent had a good hand, you know, he had a really good hand. But again, that Scythe board is so strong. You have an Appaloosa, a number 38, and a lot more going on. So yeah, let's just keep watching. Opponent misplays with the Imperm, hitting the Dagda. I don't know. I think, yeah, he obviously did misplay because he was supposed to Imperm the Dagda. But then the thing is, I have the Necrovalley. And I don't even result. You watch the rest of the video. Yeah, flip the Necrovalley. And the Imperm didn't actually do much, which is really, really funny. So one cool niche thing with Dracoslayer only is when you have the Apple at 1600, that's 2 negates. It's kind of awkward because only 2 and it's very weak, but we have the number 38 to essentially become the shield for Appaloosa. If anything was to try and attack it, it would attack Harbinger. Harbinger would take it out, right? So that's a really cool interaction that I really like in this deck and has thrown a lot of people off their gameplay because they just don't know it has that effect, basically. If you ever played the Blue Eyes format, you know, where everything was rank 8, you definitely remember it. So the opponent's going to try and mill some stuff. I let him resolve it because, again, Necrovalley just won't let it work. Desires is such a powerful card. We have to negate that with number 38. And then, yeah, the opponent surrenders. I still have the Scythe. I still have the Bystial. I have the Entis as ammo to pop the Scythe. If you pop the Necrovalley, I'm just going to do the Scythe thing. So it's a really disgusting board and why we won that game. Coming up next is a matchup against Branded Tearlaments and, and me. So we're going to swap the thing here. So the opponent's comboing off a little bit. He's got the Law of Darkness, Desperate Tragedy. This is one of my favorite interactions as well. As the opponent just, you know, goes absolutely crazy, combos off like mad. He's got a really good hand. I want to say his deck seems very pre-Darkwind Blast with like the cards in his hand and the engines. But that's fine because he goes crazy with the Frightful Patriarch. Masquerade the Blazing Dragon absolutely destroys destroys Tearlament. And you've noticed here, you know, this is post-siding. I've got the 2 Dark Ruler no mores, and I just have to make sure I'm able to beat him. So we'll play this one and we'll see how this plays out. Luckily I have the Fenrir and the Dark Ruler to have that extra, I guess, interaction. And the thing about Fenrir is really cool is you summon it, you search, that's your discard for Sky Iris with Majesty Pegasus. But also this is your easy out or easy way into the Beyond the Pendulum, because all you need is at least a Pendulum as long as all the monsters are effect monsters. So here we go, I've searched the Sky Iris, I've gone into the Ignistar. You know, the thing I like about this deck is you can go so many different routes, and it's kind of fun because you're essentially trying to complete a puzzle in a sense. So because of that, you know, you get to mess around with different boards, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I think the best Dracoslayer players are the ones who can make something out of nothing and win the game. We're going to win the game. He surrendered because we've managed to exhaust all his resources, I guess. And yeah, that was the game. Throwing another replay against Branded, I think this was the same game. So just quickly, before we let the opponent do his combo out, something I was testing, notice the past tense there. I was testing the Vector Pendulum as a Draco Overlord target for Draco face-off, but also Masterpiece, the true Dracoslayer. You know, this card is not the one that got banned, but he's still pretty good, and I've made enough boards to know how strong he is. The issue is we don't have Draco face-off at 3. I don't really want to run more Draco Overlords because they're bricks. Field Spell's amazing, don't get me wrong, it's really good, and Duelist Alliance can search it, which, you know, because it's got Pendulum in its name, I found that quite funny. But I ended up taking this combo out, or I guess package, the 4-card package, which is Face-Off, Overlord, Masterpiece, and Dragonic Diagram. Yeah, I took those out for the Scythe package, basically, and a bit more consistency and more meta relevant cards. But let's see if I actually do it in this board. Because I'm going second, it's harder for me to think that's the right idea with Masterpiece. But it's in my hand, so clearly this is either game 1 or I haven't sided. So let's see what happens and we'll go from there. So yeah, opponent knows Masquerade is really scary against me. So you know what, actually watching his end board, I don't know how I break this. I honestly don't. This might be a game I lose, but maybe I want to include it just to show that, you know, the deck is a glass cannon and it can still lose to stuff, you know. So here we go. I love seeing Purple Poison Magician, by the way, every time they have something I need to pop, because it's not once per turn popper. So boom, there we go. Take out the Masquerade, the Blazing Dragon. He does a brand in red, which is really techie because he brings out another Masquerade and the Dramaturge comes out. Okay, how on earth do I break this board? I am genuinely curious right now. Kind of just want to watch it, man. Okay, oh, I see. Wait, because he negates it though. Ah, okay. No, he super polys me. But he gets rid of the Masquerade. Interesting. Okay, I think I remember this game now. Yeah, so you know, Masquerade doesn't burn because it was a fusion summon, because he brought it back with its effect, and boom, there we go. There's the scale 1 we needed, and there is the advantage, guys. That is the power of Pendulum right there. I just did a Pendulum summon for 4, well, for 5 really, because Harmonizing effect would have triggered, but I hard drew the 2 Purple Poisons. It's got to show how scary this deck is, and I'll be honest, every time I play this deck, I can't help but imagine the Yusuf Udo 5D's music, because it's just epic, the stuff you do. Okay, because remember, Ignistar is not a hard once per turn, everything's a soft once per turn on it. So we just keep looping that, and that's basically going to be the game, right? Some matchups against Dragon Link. So, man, the Bystial cards are really strong. So I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with them going forward. They're just really, really annoying. I'm thinking to main Drone Lockbird, honestly, to deal with Flunder as well as, you know, some of the Tearlaments stuff. But yeah, we'll go for this combo. Sometimes what I find interesting is, while Babunku is amazing to search for the Majesty Pegasus, the issue is it's a level 3, so you can't even go into the Ignistar, which forces you to go into the Beyond line. And I think a player who knows a little bit about this deck might figure that out and realize that speaking of the Effect Veiler, the hand trap on the Beyond is, you know, quite tough. But the saving grace is that Beyond the Pendulum doesn't negate most effects for the rest of the turn because it was negated, which is really nice. So that's kind of works out in a way. And here we go, you know, Pendulum doing what Pendulum does, setting up the Magistar. I believe this was a really weird game state. I can't remember. I did do a triple tactics on him, so he's definitely at a disadvantage. There we go. We do a 4 Material Appaloosa with a Necrovalley. Of course, that's one of the crazy things about this deck, being able to search a generic field spell with Majesty Pegasus. Right now in the meta, Necrovalley is incredible against Tearlament, against Exorcista, against a lot of decks, basically. I'm not sure about Exorcista, but, you know, Dragon Link definitely hurts them, definitely hurts Branded. So being able to resolve this is really nice. Let's actually see how he deals with the Appaloosa, which is at 3200. So he does a Nocta Vision. Okay. So I remember this duel because this happened this morning. The opponent was thinking quite hard about what to do because Necrovalley is such a weird interaction for him. Maybe he's trying to bait an access code line, then he realizes he can't do anything. He top decked the Nibiru, which would have been really funny if he Nibiru'd me. And that was that duel. Okay, we've got a duel against Runick Sprite. So this is one of the scary decks, I'll say. Runick players being able to main or side the Lava Golem is really scary because no matter what you do, you're just going to lose to that Lava Golem. And I've been trying to figure out a way to play around it, but ultimately there really isn't much you can do, and it's kind of tough, honestly. It's kind of tough to like think about how to play around it. You just gotta pray they don't top deck it, which sucks because they have a draw free built into their deck as well. But yeah, we try our best here. We are gonna Pendulum Summon for 4-3, and we do the Sky Iris, and now we do the combos where we start popping. Remember, the one thing I always started realizing is you want to always keep your link arrows free, because you need your Magister to resolve, and you need other cards to resolve as well, like the Celine. But yeah, easy Ignista. If you're a Dracoslayer player like me, you've like probably got tired of doing so many combos. I don't know about you guys. This might be a question while you're watching is, do you do test hands like all the time? I've been doing test hands non-stop at home. If I'm just watching a show on Netflix, I'm just banging out test combos. And I want to say it's, you know, it's proven its worth, because when I went locals, I'm able to create some like pretty insane going second, going first boards, break boards, and win the game. It's really cool stuff. You can see like the potential the deck has as well. Luckily, again, the opponent doesn't have anything like Nibiru. What I've noticed is while the Masterpiece line is great, it kind of doesn't beat Nibiru because it's so hard to get onto the field before the 5th summon. Speaking of Lava Golem, earlier on, here we go. He Lava Golems my board. He does his runic stuff. I do have a Solemn Judgment set, which I believe I didn't use Guiding Ariadne for. And I want to say that's it, because we have the IP for the, for the Unicorn. Of course, we're going to take out the Fountain so it doesn't resolve any draws too. And yeah, that's the game. Okay, and our last replay is going to be against Runick Sprite, one of the scariest decks in the game. I believe Runick Sprite actually won one of the recent YCSs. I think it was Minneapolis. In the Dark Blast format, keep that in mind. So it says a lot about, you know, the power spec of the deck, and why I want to show more replays of this. I think the meta right now is so condensed in terms of what the best decks are and what to expect. So I think it's good to show these kind of replays to be a bit more realistic. So here we go. The opponent is, you know, comboing off like crazy. Of course, that level 2 Hugin giving the Sprite players the level 2 on field to basically start comboing off makes things really easy for them. But I have the Druid Worm, which is a nice bit of interaction. He does have the, let's look at the board before I resolve Cyclone. He does have the IP Masquerade, the Sprite Elf. And here we go. He has the very interesting level 1 monster that is brought out with the Mannequin Cat, which after siding, you'll always expect to see that, and that's why maybe Dark Normal is getting really good now. So this card, you know, you need to pick a special monster with 1800 or more attack. Luckily, I have the Bystial card, so I'm able to, I believe, push through. But let's keep watching. I'm not sure if I break this board, because I know he has a pretty decent board. So yeah, got to the battle phase, take out the weirded word card. Does an IP for a Sprite Elf. I guess he was missing his target. If you had Appaloosa, that would have been the end of the game for sure. But here we go, chain block with the Beyond the Pendulum. And keep searching here. We have the Ash Blossom, which is really, really sick. He does do the Runic Destruction card. He does a draw for 1. And what's crazy is he drew a Runic spell. And then the craziest top deck ever, he top decks the Sprite Blue. So you can probably figure out why I showed this replay. You know, while Pendulum does have a good board, it can make crazy boards. It's also fragile at the same time, and sometimes the side deck cards are just not enough, basically. So you know, that's just something to keep in mind. And he has the crazy Call by the Grave, then does a Sprite Star just to rub salt in the wound here. But I believe that's the end of the game. The opponent has too much advantage, and I probably just surrender at some point once I realize, yeah, he has the evenly matched as well, so the carrot can't even, you know, the carrot's going to stop it from resolving, right? And guys, that's been the deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to drop a like. Helps the channel get noticed, helps more people find out about it. And if you're interested in Pendulum as well, or you're maybe playing it right now, what do you think of the deck so far? I think it's got a lot of potential in Darkwind Blast, but there's clearly some patches that need to be filled, and I think as time goes on, maybe players will start figuring it out. I'm starting to realize the Masterpiece package is actually really, really strong, but it's a bit tough to get out. So I'm trying to figure out ways to get it out more easily. So we have that Omni Negate, which is really good, obviously, because no one likes getting our Appaloosa Imperm, which just sucks. And that being said, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.